Hello there everyone, a bit of an update tonight on, golly I've sat in the wrong place, just let me move around a bit, on the mufflers I made for the 40 Ford, which are sticking up in the air just in front of us, like two silver horns. They're made out of aluminium sheet that I've rolled to give me a hollow cone. I just thought I'd sort of do a bit more about that because it's not an easy thing to do. If I lift this up, hopefully these are actual rolled aluminium cones, so give me that thin wall. I was copying the idea of the turnout from this part from the old Ford. I'm sure these came out of 56. It's a late 50s Ford anyway, either 56 or 57, I think. Anyway, so to make something like this obviously has another tip on there, which is of whatever distance, but for what I want on the Ford, I want about this length. But I made a tool to actually form them round, which helps quite a lot to get some sort of uniformity. You know, I want two of them, so I want them reasonably identical, even though as they're either side you can't see one when you're looking at the other. But if you had a bank of them, 4 in a row, you'd want them all the same, wouldn't you? So I made this little tool, which is basically a cone shaped from a piece of stretched sprue, and then along it I've put in some grooves where I want the parts to end. And then I cut a semicircle from my old favourite, a piece of smoothed out aluminium pie dish. Right. Not beer can, because it's too thick and not malleable. This is a pie dish. God knows what, I'm sure you have pies in America. Anyway, it's a sort of not as light as a roasting foil and not as heavy as a beer can. So it's like you got 3 choices of foil thickness. So I then cut myself out, as you can see on that part, a semicircle that is about the length of that I wanted, sort of thing, you know, so I could roll there. And using a number called pi, you can calculate the distance that you'd actually want to be rolling on each of these, and that gives you from a center point a curve, right? But that's a lot of messing around and mathematics, you know. Whereas if you just want a few of them, you can make them simply just on your mind's eye. But you will be rolling in a curve, not a circular part or a straight line. There's no point trimming off a straight inch wide piece of this and rolling it around like that. It will not make a cone. You have to roll in a cone. This is actual sheet metal work that works. Right? Years of college to learn this shit. But, you know, a straight strip will not roll a cone. You need to follow a curve. But you can sort of work that out generally and then trim down to your actual level. And then do them only in a couple of minutes and trim it down to suit. And also, you need to leave off when you've gone all the way around, add on a little bit, like 1/2 mil, you know, a small amount, to just give yourself a lip that will cross over to the other one. If you cut it where they meet, you'll end up with a butt joint and you won't have much to actually join yourself. So you'd want to add on that little extra, so as you could quite frankly fold it back and fold the other side back and make a lock formed bend a lock form joint and hammer it over to bead the two. In fact, I might go on a Mark II and do that, as opposed to just relying on, say, super gluing it. So while I've been sat here that minute, I don't know how long that minute was, I've just cut and rolled another piece around that, which will, I'm not going to trim it down because that takes a long while, but it's just now rolled me another cone. But while that's still on there, I would, I'm not the thingy. Where I've got these grooves, I would then line, keep it on there, line it up, and feel with your thumbnail to get it into a groove, spin it, and you'll create a line. Then get your scalpel in there and trim that down. And then the same at the other end, try and find where the line is, spin it in the direction of rotation, otherwise you'll hook it back up, which is, right, spin it and you'll get that into the groove, and then trim it down, and you'll have even-ended fittings. I wanted to show you that to put into mind how small this motorbike is that I've been working on, right? This is one of the Airfix motorbikes in an untampered with state. I haven't actually, that's how it came straight out of the box, as it were. And it's not, there you go, right. And this is how much I've changed this one. My little rebel without a clue. I've added mudguard stays, cables, my truck and cars in the way. Give it a minute. Now everything else is a chain. Hang on. See if it will focus. Please focus. There's a new exhaust tip on there that's open, a new seat. That's not in focus, is it? Hocus pocus. Push rod tube, spark plug leads. Like you see, the new exhaust tip there. The rear wheel rim, kickstart lever, pillion pegs. The seat brace. I've hollowed out the front forks between there, hollowed out the headlamp lens for a chrome, added throttle cable, clutch cable, front brake cable, the levers and switch gear on the handlebars. Hollowed out all that leg section there into the bike and reshaped the tank. Done a lot of rescribing around here. Like I said, I added the front mudguard stays. And adding tradition, I've given him a white silk scarf, which is a old tradition of calf racers over here. So it's quite a few hours work prattling around doing that, but what a heck of a challenge. And the thing's not much bigger than the average 1/25th carburetor. Well, maybe it is. I mean, I haven't got a carburetor knocking around here at the moment. What? Oh, hang on. What can I grab that's twin supercharger? That's a double blower doodad out of one of the Pro stock kits. So it gives you some idea of the size that I'm working on with this motorcyclist. Anyway, what's Sheldon Roth? Well, he does some brilliant stuff. I've learnt a lot off of Sheldon. That's it for now. Thanks very much. Best wishes from jolly old England. Bye.